certainly getting back on track.
What was the game plan? Go down the line, take them on, force them to make mistakes. And it is Diruk who commits a foul and creating pressure.
Two potential takers, Van der Ross and Ritchie.
If it is Ritchie, it's an in swing. It's favorable for the attacker.
So Keegan Ritchie takes, repelled by Morena. Mamelodi Sundowns looking to break. Malula got it out of his feet well. Oh, terrific pace tearing through the centre. Good little touch on that. Van der Ross has now given it away. Allende. Van der Ross has been busy in a defensive sense early.
Well, he would need one, support, two, a bit of guidance to commit such a tackle there. It's very dangerous for the team. Again, when you do that, it's because the positioning wasn't right, and you allow yourself to be turned by the opponent, it just puts pressure on you. In swing, we can expect.
Well, this is a great position for Mamelodi Sundowns. Derek Froome between the sticks, taken over from King and Glovu up until 3 matches ago. Has played every game for Maritzburg United. He himself another off-season recruit. Cedric Mobali laying down the law. The Chilean Marcelo Allende assessing the scene. Allende, Mayema headed away. Sharp reflexes to get something on that and clear it. Might have been given Mashikinya with the crucial touch.
It's a well-crafted set piece.
It was.
Well crafted.
There's Mayema again. Oh, he took the shot towards goal. Allende brought down. Travis Graham, the perpetrator.
They're trying to move the ball as quick as possible to unlock the Maritzburg defense. It's putting pressure on Travis Graham. And of course, he's got the experience of giving Mashikinya, who has to support him.
Will be a retake.
What is
It is a cheeky character.
But imagine there's Allende and then there's Sereno, both of them very cheeky characters.
Yeah. Sereno in this fixture specifically has been sent off twice.
Yes.
In his Mamelodi Sundowns career against Maritzburg. Take 2 for Mayema, straight it through.
That's within reach of the keeper. No problem at all for Fru.
Nakumi to Ritchie. Clipped forwards for Macheke. Opening along via his head is Tapero Morena. He's appeared more frequently off the bench this season as Morena. Now, after the ball had been played, Hashim Domingo filed Keegan Ritchie into the book. It's very early into the game. Inside 10 minutes, and the 32-year-old has been carded. It will make life a little tricky.
The quick passing is a bit of a problem for the likes of Keegan Ritchie. If you look at how Sundowns are trying to move the ball as quick as possible between pockets of spaces, that creates problems. The likes of Keegan Ritchie.
Grankikana. Ritchie turning away from Allende. Strong header clear from De Ruyck. A little too strong.
It's a battle that I'm looking forward to. Who's the boss? So far, he's registered his presence, De Ruyck. We'll see another battle. Who wins?
That's a nice little dart from Mulesani. Former Sundowns man himself, played for their reserves. He was out on loan at Cape Town All-Stars for 2 seasons. Now Mokoena under pressure. Shakes off the challenge of Macheke. This is Mayema. Kulise. An opportunity to stride forward. Needs to play the perfect ball. Hasn't got it right for Cassius Malula. And Makume gets it away from the Sundowns youngster.
Question is, do you want to play a good pass, or is it inviting for you because you're looking at the goals, you have a better view? Sometimes shooting around that box could be a better option. Deflection could actually make it difficult for the keeper. But the sense of agency, how they're passing the ball as quick as possible, Sundowns, looks promising, but they need to get some shots on target. Maritzburg themselves being the host will be much more assertive.
Speaking of being the hosts, they played their last 3 matches away. So they'll be glad to be back at the Harry Gwala Stadium.
The reason the fans have come out in large numbers, they've been missing that team.
Sundowns, conversely, have played their last 3 league games all at home. It's the first time they've played 3 consecutive league games at home since February 2019, as Hashim Domingo tries to locate Malula. Twisting and turning, firing a shot away. Bonkosi Makume gets himself in the way of that shot. So much confidence from Malula. Let's poke this towards Allende. Mayema gets it onto his left and has won a corner.
I'm loving this sense of agency, how they're moving the ball as quick as possible. Sundowns, Malula getting involved, Mayema as well. Look at the strength and the balance that he's got. Gets a shot.
Does hit the elbow of Makume, but I'm in a natural position.
It is.
Clever little exchange of passes. Maritzburg clear their lines. Allende again. Morena. Piling on the pressure. Oh, the visitors. This time clear, courtesy of Travis Graham.
It's more like knock-knock. Remember who we are. We are the current champions of this league. We want to register our presence. It is a 4-4-2 in Maritzburg because they want to try and utilize their wing backs as well to try and attack. So far, they've been on a defensive mode. Not the best pass, but the captain himself going for a slide tackle, made sure that he wins that tackle. You've got to make sure when you go for a slide tackle, you win it.
That's a formation implemented by Rulani Mokoena. Oh, and he's quickly dispensed this out to Neo Mayema. Has a couple of options up ahead of him. He's being well tracked by Ritchie. Domingo pulls the trigger.
2 positives. The one is the transition phase for Sundowns. How they managed to get that ball into the danger area and try and hit the target.
And they're back on the offensive here, Mamelodi Sundowns. Two men waiting in the form of Malula and Mayema. They'll settle for a corner though.
The other positive is the recovery from Maritzburg, because they had the numbers to try and match Sundowns, even though there was a late run, but they had the numbers. So both teams are switched on in terms of one. Sundowns, when they're attacking, the transition phase looks dangerous, but the organization still looks good for Maritzburg.
Mokwena's take, through flaps at it. Oh, can't fire the shot away. Well, Grant Kekana had to try and dig it out from under his feet. Doesn't possess those kind of natural goal-scoring instincts as Morena seeks to slip in Malula. This is Macheke. His only outlet appeared to be Friday Samu, but further on the right-hand side, Regan van der Ross was in acres of space.
You can see me pointing that side, right? Because van der Ross was a better option on that side. It's an interesting one. No room for mistake, because both teams are trying to play on a transition. It's a question of perfection.
Steered forward by Kekana for Allende. Now to the feet of Mkulise. Cassius Malula's already showed his intelligence in this game. There's another look at that earlier chance for Grant Kekana. Can't control cleanly.
Derek did not look convincing at all in that area where he's supposed to be dominating.
He isn't the tallest goalkeeper, Derek Fruit.
I don't think it's even about height. It was within reach, but it just wasn't convincing in terms of what he wanted to do. And I'm saying this because I've seen the best goalkeepers, may his soul rest in peace, Senzo Meiwa.
Oh, Friday Samu.
That's what they were talking about. Crosses, find him in the box, because he's got that ability, and now they're able to find him in the box. Glancing header in front of Grant Kekana, just couldn't get it on target. He still poses a danger.
Alani Mokoena stands alone now as head coach of Mamelodi Sundowns. It's a huge assignment for him. 35 years of age. He has been solely responsible for the fortunes of Orlando Pirates and Chippa United in the past. Now, given the reins at Mamelodi Sundowns with Ngoma Mniti, the senior coach, Steve Compella, first team coach.
All these things tend to follow, you know. If you look at the former Marumo Gallant's coach, young as he is, look at now him at Amazulu.
Lovely little turn. Cassius Malula shifting it, getting the shot away. His former reserve team teammate, Thabo Molosani. Third going down as an own goal. Still, what a way to introduce yourself with your first ever start. Debut for Mamelodi Sundowns, and then appeared as a sub versus Marumo Gallants, having previously appeared as a sub versus Chippa United, was his two previous league appearances.
Well, he would have compared notes with a young man that's now more of a regular in the team, Mkulise.
100%, yeah.
He would have learned from those pages, because he's had to be thrown into the deep end, and he's matured.
Although slightly different routes, Spilele Mkulise going out several loan spells. Cassius Malula sticking around with the reserves and playing for M Tigers, bouncing around between the two of those teams. also playing varsity football with Tshwane University of Technology.
Well,
He has waited for his chance, Brian.
Correct. The likes of Presita, who had to be loaned out a couple of times and came back, became a household name. Here he is back, full fitness, Alali. John Maduka calls this a project. They're still working project. He's trying to get them to, what are the combinations? Because the combinations are not working that well for John Maduka.
Midway through the first period. What a frenetic start. I mean, several chances conjured for both teams. Of course, a few more going the way of Mamelodi Sundowns now. The referee has allowed play on. Tabo Mokoena was the man brought down. He may revisit that incident. Travis Graham. Dispensed into space here for Palace. He gives up the races. Ronwen Williams comes off his line. Now Monomori cushioning it forward. Too much on it.
It wasn't on when Amorichi played there. Bit of time because he had the two strikers who had already made the runs forward, trying to come back.
Allende with a sublime ball. Morena. Oh, brilliantly worked goal. Hashim Domingo with a slick finish. Mamelodi Sundowns take the lead.
Now I'm going to share, you know, the warm-up drills under Steve Compella, or Coach Steve Compella. And I was marveling at the finishing because they had this drill of playing the ball wide, drilling it back into the box. 90% of that was on target and resulted in a goal. And I'm saying because of this particular goal is a result of that. Drilled into that box, the finishing was clinical, well executed. What you see is what happened behind the scenes, which turned out to look this good in a game situation. Well worked goal punishing the opponent, Masandawana.
Well, picture perfect cross and finish for Mamelodi Sundowns to grab the advantage. In the league this season, it is the 9th time they've opened the scoring. Only once have they dropped points. That was in a 1-1 draw against Kukuni United in August. But I refer back to last season because they did open the scoring, courtesy of Peter Shalolile. Really deft little header in the same goal, at the same end, and went on to lose the game, the only time that they dropped all 3 points after scoring first.
Tell you what, Coach Steve Compella would be smiling. They were well drilled. It took them about 10 to 15 minutes doing the same drill. And for it to be so well executed, impressive.
Mokoena steals it. Slips through a decent ball. Maritzburg United's Cameroonian goalminder thumps it upfield. And the visitors re-establish control. Mokoena again. Kalisa comes to collect. Mayema. Domingo. Works it to Morena. Slips the ball to Allende.
It continues. They are looking good. Sundowns are looking sharper. They're making inroads. They're making life difficult for Mamelodi. And they're getting the ball into the danger area.
And they've won it again. Big opportunity here. Left for Mayema. Work to Moreno. Again they profit from the right-hand flank. Mamelodi Sundowns 2 up inside half an hour. Sibiso Monomodi struggling.
What are you talking about? What I'm saying, he's struggling on the right-hand side. I watched the show. They say there are times where it's got to be Wusa. Chill a little bit. And that's why they're trying to do Sundowns.
There's Mayema. And what he can do. Not this time.
They're calling for change. Change for who? Yes.
They have been for a while.
They have been.
Monomodi, yeah.
But it's a change that will perhaps not be favorable, because I think in their case, maybe Mamelodi, but the young man was also battling in the midfield.
Now on comes Rowan Human to replace Janino Palace.
He has been put under so much pressure. Got a bright future. Just the occasion here. We're playing against a team whose reputation was bruised. You know, and they have to live up to that reputation of being ruthless, and that's what they have been. Mamelodi Sundowns, ruthless in the box. Matibafuna Ushij. Who needs to come off? As we see here, Turuk was fouled. Someone needs to get a yellow here, because this was a deliberate act. Someone needs to be booked. Did the assistant pick it up?
Got away with one a little earlier on as well, if you'll recall.
Yeah. What now? Coach Maduka. You can tell, right? Saying use the flanks. We have been profiting. Things have been working out. Someone needs to be centered. But channel them onto the side. We become richer when we attack from the sides. And they are too rich.
Yes, Kikana. Morena again. Russell attempted ball forward, which he had to cut it out, but it always seems to be a scramble at the back for Maritzburg United. They're closed so quickly. Kulisa bursting forwards. Still Kulisa. Mayema. And Kulisa thrashes over.
So I'm looking at Maritzburg, I'm thinking someone very assertive, someone confident needs to get hold of the ball and just slow things down. Because so far they have serious problems. And the problem is that they want to try and match Sundowns in terms of the tempo. It's not going to work.
Well, Mamelodi Sundowns
back at the top.
Last season, after 10 games, so bear in mind we're showing you the log as it stands, at 25 points. So they came into this game on 22. At this point last season, they had 26 points. They were yet to concede a goal. They also had a healthy cushion over second place, which is not the case this season, although Richards Bay behind them have played 2 games more. So if they can hang on, which seems likely, considering it is Mamelodi Sundowns, and they do have a 2-goal advantage. And at least they'll have a bit of a cushion. Quina, Nabusa.
I think if it's John Maduka, he should be worried, because as it is, it's more reacting as opposed to trying to find their rhythm. They're trying to stop Sundowns. As a result, they're not settling into their game.
Yeah. The scorer of the second goal, Tapelo Morena, did well to let the ball come across his body. Cracked it in at the goalkeeper's near post.
The fans are talking. The fans are talking about someone that needs to be booked, but at the same time, someone that needs to be substituted. Not too sure if this stage is Mnamuri. Yes, he was definitely fouled by Neo Maema.
So Maema, the second player into the book, joining Keegan Ritchie. Morena has given it away to Ron Human. Mashikinia. Ritchie being closed down by Domingo. Allende. Okwena.
So the challenge for Maritzburg is that they were not given time to settle into their game. Sundowns just came out and imposed their way of play onto Maritzburg. So they haven't settled into what would have been their game plan to try and bring in crosses.
Oh, it's a brilliant ball for Domingo. Only has Cassius Malula for company, but Kulise is tearing forwards. Ritchie upfield to Macheke. It's Makume, the Maritzburg United player who's started every game this season.
Like I said, I think Coach John Maduka is trying to rebuild the club, find combinations that would work. Hasn't been that easy.
Maema finding Allende. Domingo too firm from Kulise as he sought to pick up Morena again.
There's a part of me that thinks he changed his mind, because I think it was also on for him to just try and plug it. But then he passed on responsibility. So much time on the ball as well.
Human to the path of Van der Ras, taking on Lebusa. Still Rigid Van der Ras stabs it through for Rowan Human. Good defensive work done by Mamelodi Sundowns. Allende helping out. This is Cassius Malula. Giving Mashikinia the run around.
One of our colleagues used to say, when he gives praise to a particular player, when they've done something good, you say, he is nice.
He is nice.
Cassius is nice. Caesar Mabena.
Kulise all the way back to Ronwen Williams.
They're allowed to drop the tempo a little bit. It's the Husa moment. Drop it a little bit. Raise it when necessary.
So they can't play with the kind of intensity they have at all times. Showman stuff from Mamelodi Sundowns as they pass their way out of defense. Kulise now with a lot of space. Mayema, Domingo tries to chuck back inside. We're Sonny with the tackle.
Question is, was it a wise move to try and kill it? No, I don't think so. But sometimes they say whatever comes to mind first, do it. And he thought killing it would be better, but plugging it for me would have been a much better option.
Well, the action areas, 40 minutes into this encounter, plenty of play at the end of Ronwin Williams, but that doesn't necessarily mean there's a lot of Maritzburg attacking.
No, not at all. But Sundowns, you can tell that that's evenly spread based on wing, but it's more in the center. That's where the strength has been with Kulise. And that center Mayemo as well.
Human. Not the best ball for Samu. Macheka retrieves it. They look down that left-hand side for Maritzburg United. They haven't been able to launch a single attack in that area.
They can't, Grant, because Mamelodi is struggling. But there's been promise on that right-hand side, also through the center.
Busa's ball was met by Makume, but Mamelodi Sundowns have it again. Cassius Malula shrugs off Travis Graham. Robin Newman gets away from Allende. Oh, this falls nicely for Graham. A good block from De Ruyck.
Injection of life, sense of urgency as well. Ronan Huida. Human has brought that into the Maritzburg midfield.
Here comes Morena. Still he continues on. Allende. Chilean to McQuinn. Intricate stuff from Mamelodi Sundowns. This is looking good again. Mayema, McQuinn, a chance to measure it. Oh, he swept it in. Fru makes a good save. And again. Flag up.
Doesn't it look beautiful?
Yeah.
When you have a team that passes the ball in between a forest of defenders, and they do it with such ease, precision, believe as well. How about the goalkeeping? Through. Well, this is where we want to see a different angle to see if that ball had actually crossed the line.
Malula offside in any case.
Yeah.
Not that Fru knew, and clawed it away. Original header from Domingo.
There is no answer so far from Maritzburg. Yes, we've seen the urgency that Human brings into that midfield now. There hasn't been any real threat.
It's not anywhere close really to crossing the line, but showing some elite reflexes there. 27-year-olds last played for Cotton Sports. Oh, this is too easy. First league goal for Cassius Malula. And just shy of the interval, Mamelodi Sundowns move into a 3-goal lead.
We often talked about staying in the zone. Mark Williams would say, stay in the kitchen, maybe. It doesn't come easy like that. But the cross, well drilled, it's always a tricky one because it's either someone is waiting for the keeper to commit or the defenders to clear it. And if there is a doubt amongst the two people that I've mentioned, this is what happens. There's celebration from the opponent because he would have scored the easiest steps, but well worked.
It's not looking good for John Maduka. Malula tears forward once again.
Ruthless, entertaining, sharp. That's what we're seeing from Mamelodi Sundowns. They are the bosses in a foreign soil. What's next? John Maduka.
Well, they are enduring a pretty rough patch at the moment. Maritzburg United managed draws in their last two games, both of them KZN derbies, 0-0 against Richards Bay, and then we're told it is 4 games winless for Maritzburg United. Were defeated in their previous home game as well against SuperSport United to snap a 4-game unbeaten streak on their own patch this season, and 7 overall that stretched back to last term, but now on the cusp of losing back-to-back home games for the first time since February last year. From Macheke. That's the Sundowns defense well set, and they will go down the tunnel in good spirits with a 3-goal cushion. Nation Domingo opening the scoring, Tabela Morena doubling up, and then providing the cross for Cassius Malula.
Very clinical, solid in all departments, Sundowns. Lots of work to be done by Maritzburg in the second half.
Well, it looks like a long way back for the hosts. The champions have a 3-goal advantage in KZN's capital.
If you like nice things
to Maritzburg United, 3 games all told, as Cassius Malula gets us into Morena. Oh, players arriving, including Malula, into the gloves of fruit.
Almost a replica of how they scored one of their goals in the first half. Sundown under pressure, test him.
Watch how he digs up the turf here.
Yeah, he does.
Richie's delivery. Excellent defensive work done by their former soldier, Rashin Derek. Now 26 years of age, in his prime. Well, winless in their last 3 league trips to Harry Gwala Stadium, Mamelodi Sundowns, since a win on the 12th of March 2019. That, incidentally, is their only win in their last 6 away games to Maritzburg, as Dingani pleads for a foul. That game settled by goals from Tade and Mabue, who's on the bench today. Another former Maritzburg United man. He'd love to get a crack at his old employers. Kibuidi's done well. Clever from Richie. And the ball in. Turned behind by Mokoena.
And I want to say the first 15 minutes of the second half is very crucial for the team that's trailing and the team that's leading. And if you're Sundowns and you're leading, you've got to defend well, because the opponent will try and put pressure on you. Now that's what is happening now with Maritzburg. They've come out much better in terms of their approach. He got injured in that game.
Alfred Ngani got injured immediately after scoring. You're right, he landed very awkwardly after scoring by his head. You'll recall though that he was climbing all over Kalisa Mudau.
Yeah,
so it was pretty contentious equalizer.
Very experienced, up against another experienced player, perhaps slightly younger, Grant Kekana.
Grant Kekana turns 30 at the end of this month, in fact.
Versatile, Grant Kekana.
Fanaras on the occasion of his first league start, whipping that in, repelled by Ronwen Williams, cushioned in the path of Mayema. Oh, it's a lovely move on the break here. Domingo, gets the ball in. And reeled in by Mayema. Allende. Good strength shown by the Chilean against Rowan Human. It's a nice battle between two similarly sized individuals as Mokoena has the ball taken away from him. How about that for a tackle? Glorious timing.
It looks good when you go for it and you win it. And he did well there, Grant Kekana.
Mokoena receives. Kalise now. Malula on his outside. Precious Malula jinks in field. Misplaced pass for Domingo. Rowan Human for Maritzburg United. Samu Fandaras. And he gave Lebusa an opportunity to recover, which he duly did.
Took time to make up his mind. There were two options for him in the box. Delayed a bit. And when you do that, the opponent recovers and those spaces are not there.
Van der Ras goes short to Human. Cries of handball against Hashim Domingo. This is Cassius Malula as Mamelodi Sundowns play on. Maritzburg just don't feel like they're getting the rub of the green at the moment.
Well, they found that there was a handball in the box. That could have been a penalty. We'll try and have a look at it once more. And here, what was that push there, brother? Keegan Ritchie. Was it a handball? No. Maybe after. That came off his feet. Came off the right foot or left foot?
Well, in any case, Mamelodi Sundowns will feel like that is recompense for March when Sakuna went diving down in a very similar position.
Yeah, well, put it that way. It's more of a grudge game, you think?
Well, the way they attacked them in the first half would suggest,
Sometimes when it goes wrong, it definitely goes wrong. That was a little bit society. Wrong choice. Wrong choice to play with left foot, to try and play it onto to try and kick it out.
But Derek Froome took his place in between the sticks after King and Glover was dropped following the 3-0 defeat to Stellenbosch.
You know the tempo is that high. Yeah. If the referee asks for water, the pace is too high. And the coach says, oh, okay, all right, what more? The tempo is that high. Hasn't stopped.
It's a very, very muggy evening in Maritzburg. The rain, torrential downpour earlier, did little to wash away the heat that we'd experienced during the day. As Kim Vuidi gets in the way of Antoine Macheke, rather in his way. There's Samu. Retained possession nicely. Megan van der Ross. Samu hits the back of the net, but only after fouling Kulise to win the ball.
There has to be some maturity as well from Van der Ross, because sometimes you've got to compliment the runner. I think Kamvidi had set up a pass to him, which I think he needed to play it first time.
Wins that aerial duel. Quick thinking from Allende to get it into the feet of Domingo, who's got it back here. Hashim Domingo's deflected shot is over.
This is where I always want to keep, that watch that tells you how many seconds. Because Sundowns get into the box so quick. Look at how they move the ball so swiftly and quick as well, setting it up for a shot. You can tell that they were told to continue with the intensity. Well drilled thus far.
Allende delivers, little flick, can't get over the ball. That's the back post, Grant Kekana. Mamelodi Sundowns, they did keep a clean sheet in their last away match in the league. That was against Chippa United. It's actually been 13 league matches on the road since they last kept consecutive clean sheets. So that's a real possibility tonight.
I think one of the things they highlighted when they won the title last season was that, and I remember the interview with the Rook.
Given away by Malula after some neat touches. You were saying?
It was a question of they need to defend better, and they really improved in terms of defending better last season.
Well, that was illustrated by the 10 consecutive clean sheets they kept at the beginning of the term. Megan van der Ross up against Libusa, sets him down. Van der Ross delivers, good defending from Kekana. This is Rowan Human. Van der Ross gets the corner for Maritzburg.
The fans are applauding. The Maritzburg fans, they seem to be getting a little bit excited about what they are seeing. There's promise in terms of their approach in the second half. Sundowns, on the other hand, are about to make 2 substitutions. I can tell you one of those is a defender. They want to close shop.
Van der Ross delivers. It's a difficult chance for Molisani to try and execute. Junior national team player. With the national team setups during his time at Mamelodi Sundowns reserves. I think this is the departing duo.
Yeah.
Kulise and Shinderuk. They are making way for Bradley Ralani and Motobi Mbala.
Yes, with Mtovi, it's more like for like. Come in, stabilize things at the back. With Ralani, again, is to increase the intensity.
Allende finding Ralani his first touch. Williams to Lebusa.
Two more changes. And Maritzburg.
Maritzburg United need to be picking up points at home because they have been pretty dire on the road this season and stretching all the way back to last term. The last win away from home in the DStv Premiership coming more than a year ago. That was against Baroka, relegated Baroka in September. It's been 19 away games without a win since then. They do welcome Le Mans for Golden Arrows to the Harry Gwala Stadium this coming Friday. It's their last game before the World Cup. They will be desperate to collect all 3 points in that particular derby. And it's swung out to Van der Ross. Gets the call. Someone doesn't agree.
There's a very interesting story about Lebusa and how things can turn around. I'll tell you the story. Let's have a look at this particular corner. Keegan Ritchie.
Joti and Control waiting in the wings. Ritchie with the corner. The Mamelodi Sundowns will get this clear.
So there was a point where Lebusa was playing for Ajax and it was a crucial game. They almost got relegated, or they were about to be relegated, and he's got a header against Mamelodi Sundowns. And look at where he is today. And they were in Atteridgeville when he was playing for Ajax at the time.
So Tumelo and Joti on for the one in Majeke, whilst Sponiso Control comes on for Friday Samu. They've really freshened things up at the front. Schumann spins into the path of Van der Ross. Again, giving Lebusa troubles. He's gone to ground. Van der Ross went tumbling down. Was it under the challenge of Lebusa though?
You know what makes this game interesting? It's a Sundowns team that's not sitting back. They want to come out and attack. It's a Maritzburg team that are also saying, listen, we're losing. We might as well come out with all guns blazing. It's not so much trying to defend, but they also want to attack. So it makes it an interesting one, very much open.
Mamelodi Sundowns attempting to re-establish their dominance in this tie. This is their 53rd league meeting. Sundowns have 20 wins compared to just the 4 of Maritzburg United. Van der Ross linking up with Kumpel, Joti. 2 subs combined. Caressed in by Van der Ross. Sets up for Ritchie. Mashikinya dispossessed. Shimon steps in.
And he's going to get booked. Is it Mashikinya?
Kenya, joining Richie and Mayema in the book. It was quite a shock for Maritzburg United to have beaten Mamelodi Sundowns in their last game. Sundowns, prior to that, had been unbeaten in their last 18 league matches against Maritzburg, stretching all the way back to 2012. And Doran Buckley's brace gave the team of choice a victory.
You mean the Buckley that ended up being the assistant?
Yep.
To Ernst Middendorf.
And that game under Ernst Middendorf. What's also significant is these two sides met on match day 23, or at least Sundowns' 23rd match of the season. Last campaign was their second defeat. It only took 6 games this term for Sundowns to lose 2. And despite that supposed dip in form, here they are, about to go 3 clear at the top of the standings.
Well, champions have a way of bouncing back. When you look at the changes that the coach made, it's a different approach.
Oh, how about that? Brilliant. Kibui. Contra for company. Still manages to get possession back. He's still hung on to it. Now Richie. Njoti. Oh, side netting. Well, in the second half, Mamelodi Sundowns haven't monopolized possession like they did in the first. It's been very even in that regard. And this is a good cross from Richie. Clever touch from Njoti as well.
Tried to improvise there. Good shot, good performance, better in the second half in terms of attack. They've come out with a better posture. I think the changes that John Maduka has made, Kimvidi in particular, has had an influence on the game.
Yeah, and they've
yes,
looked a little more promising.
Yeah, they have. If you look
down
at
the flank, yeah,
down the flanks on the right hand side and through the center, which is where Kimvidi has been operating.
Ball given away, and for Sundowns. Van der Ross. Clever ball for Konton. Chops back inside. Labusa down again. That's the second time that's happened to him. First from Van der Ross, now from the sub Konton.
I'll tell you what encourages me. There's been a few of the Sundowns players that are falling for a trickery of the players. I mean, I'm talking about what happened last week and the week before with Andile Jali and that man, which I don't want to mention his name. And we're seeing the attack analysis Sundowns. Again, it's still through the center of the park, which is where been the strength.
Well, Mayema shifts it wide this time to Morena. Gets it back. Thought about taking on the shot. Quena to Allende. Now worked forward once again. Well, similar to the first, exactly the same outcome. Hashim Domingo with a crisp finish. Sundowns lead by 4.
I will say it in the same way I said it in the first half. This that we're seeing now, it was part of the drill that they did during their warm-ups. When it plays out, it looks even better. We saw this challenge here. This for me was a good try, but It's what happens with this goal. Clinical in the box. I saw it in the build-up. Look at the technique as well. The cross had so much quality and pace in it, but how he kills it off. That's brilliant. Absolute brilliant.
And yet another assist for Morena.
They have been ruthless. They have been clinical. They mean business.
Van der Ross. His ball in. Met by Njoti behind for a goal kick. Morena threading it through. Lula up against Makume, it's the latter who wins out this time around. Shiman to Dingani. Van der Ross in space again. Joti battling with Mokoena. Easily defended by Mamelodi Sundowns. Mashikinya. Relani concedes the free kick.
As a substitution by Mamelodi Sundowns.
Well, he comes on against his former team.
Him who was at his best alongside Ndlovu, Makaringe, Patrick Davids would be smiling. And is he not in Russia? Patrick Davids
was briefly linked up with Joseph Zimbabwe.
Yeah.
Well,
he was responsible. I think these boys were actually groomed as well by Ernst Medendorp.
He did start against La Paz in that second leg. The result already a foregone conclusion after the first. And made a cameo in the last league game against Marumo Gallants. This Regan van der Ross again showing that he's potentially one that will be starting more regularly from now on. This is his full league debut for Maritzburg, meaning that he starts for the first time for the team of choice. So Allende is the player sacrificed to accommodate Mabwe.
Had a good game, Allende.
This season, and the results haven't been particularly favourable, although they did get that shock win against Orlando Pirates and drew with Richards Bay. So they have, prior to today, collected 4 points from an available 12 against top teams. Things not going their way here. Also for Mamelodi Sundowns, a return to goal scoring ways in the DStv Premiership, because they started the season with a 2-0 win over Cape Town City, then they demolished Chiefs 4-0, Stellenbosch 3-0, but since then their last 4 league wins have all been by a single goal margin. So tonight, of course, this Maritzburg clawback 3. Jota tried to let it run out for a corner. Lebusa recovers. Shiman turning away from Ranani. Squirts out for Njoti. Whistle sticks a foot in. Domingo. Malula gets it again. There's his brace. Cassius Malula on his first league start has 2. And I think we can safely say a star is born.
A star is born. He's bound to become a star as well. He's playing among stars. Good position, they'll supply you. And that's what's been happening here. The timing is right. He times his run quite well. He gets a return ball set up by Ralani for him. He made it look so easy, composed inside the box. Look at that. It shows maturity. Ah, beautiful. Beautiful.
Composure.
Ah. Are they watching in Zambia? Chintu Chabuno Maningi, right?
Oh, no surprise to see droves of Maritzburg United fans heading for the exit.
I understand. It was meant to be a good outing. Listen, watch the scenes on the other side. You call that? For me, those lighting, what do you call what they've got there?
Ah, yeah.
What do you call those? My phone is not so advanced, so I don't have that light.
They won't be welcome there amongst those fans, eh?
No, I won't be.
You've got to be able to join the party.
Yes, no. It's not me. Very innovative, I must say.
Maritzburg United 5 goals down. They still have to see out more than 10 minutes here. Dengani almost in trouble. Shiman bails him out. If I'm not mistaken, this is the first time Maritzburg are trailing by a 5-goal margin in more than 10 years. It's a 7-0 defeat to Supersport back in 2011. Could get worse for them. Referee awards a free kick. Oh, you can imagine they'll be lining up for this one. It's well positioned.
There's Mukwena.
But there is Mukwena.
There is Maema who would fancy it. I think Ralani would fancy it as well.
Well, Mukwena won't be taking it because Andilejani is coming on to take his place.
Jersey number 15. Kulisa Mudau is also going to get an opportunity.
You would imagine in a match like this, everyone's itching to get onto the park. They have now used all 5 available subs. Mosolubusa sacrificed to accommodate the introduction of Mudau.
So, Maema is going to go for it. There's an opening on the right hand side of the keeper.
If he can get it up and over the wall.
Yeah,
which he's certainly capable of. Maema strikes just wide.
Unlucky. If it is on target, I think the keeper had that area covered. It is going to take him time to move, to shuttle on to the right-hand side because of the space that he had left.
Oh, Maritzburg would like a consolation, you would think.
I think that's what they would want. This is such a tricky young man to contain. Kimvidi.
Last time Sundowns scored 5 league goals on the road was back in 2016 against Free State Stars. They had gone behind before hitting back with 5, eventually win. Jali. Clever exchange of passes. Malula rolls it in, trying to set up. The man is also hunting a hat-trick. Just needed that touch. Richie gets there first. Well, they'll enjoy this cushion at the top of the log. Mamelodi Sundowns. Their next match is against the side currently 7th. That's Royal AM. They will play them away this Saturday. It's a team they beat 3 times last season. Twice in the league and once in the cup. Gran Kikana. Here is Morena. Charlie. Cassius Malula. Expect to see him starting more league games now.
Yeah, he's done well. Had a good day.
You expected to see all those changes against La Paz, and someone like Malula would be part of that setup. It's a brave move from Renani Mokoena to throw him into the fray from the start of this match.
Well, yeah,
even though he had played some cameo off the bench in the league. Flag is up for offside.
He's playing with good players who are not selfish at all, part of the team. Set him up nicely, got him to settle.
Get it to Richie. Deflating result for Maritzburg United, and they don't have very long to pick themselves up. In that case, in derby against Arrows in just 3 days' time.
By the way, Sundowns are not going back to Josie at all. Training. They're staying over because they've got a fixture coming up.
Royal AM, yeah.
They're still here.
You know, when they played against Maritzburg last time at Harry Gwala Stadium, that contentious loss, and I think this game will have done a lot to kind of erase some of those memories. But it was actually their 5th away game in a row when they came here to Harry Gwala Stadium, which might have been part of the reason they were a little bit, maybe a little flat on that day, despite the fact that calls didn't go their way as well. Williams judges as well.
I think for John Maduka, it is a question of, yes, we played, but at least, you know, if you've scored, it just does something to the confidence levels. But to be beaten 5-0 without any response, not good.
No need to prolong the inevitable, just 2 minutes of additional time here. Kalani. Malula, Mabu is involved. Kalani again. This is Mayema. Morena to Jali. And they will comfortably see out the time that remains here at Mamelodi Sundowns, you would assume.
Someone is going to get booked. He looks surprised. Is it Alfred Ndengan?
The free kick has gone in favour of Maritzburg United, and that means the card is for Hashim Domingo. Returned to the country in 2018, recruited by Vidves Wits after his time in Portugal. Final whistle at the Harry Gwala Stadium. Mamelodi Sundowns bounce back from the disappointment of their cup exit over the weekend. Usually there's a phrase we use to describe a team getting hit with 5. And I'll say that those 5 fingers weren't used to redden someone's face, but rather delicately play the keys of the piano, because that is precisely what Mamelodi Sundowns have done this evening and put there.
Chisampama.
Yeah, Chisampama.
That's what happened.
Yeah.
That's exactly what happened. Clinical, ruthless. That's Sundowns. Champions have the ability to bounce back, and they did. They were flawless in terms of how they played this game. Very clinical in the approach. Good game plan out. Good energy levels. Impressive performance. Lots of work to be done. Maritzburg, they are still work in progress. You can tell that it's individuals, and the coach is trying to weave them into a formidable side. And sometimes the best lessons are learned out of these situations.
Well, the champions have a cushion at the summit of the DStv Premiership. They have thrashed Maritzburg United at the Harry Gwala Stadium 5-0.
Premier Soccer League is proud to present football entertainment at its best. The DStv Premiership. Electrifying, energetic, thrilling, sensational. The DStv Premiership. Babize Bonge.